it's 25 minutes, sometimes it's 30 minutes, sometimes it's 40 minutes. It depends.
Right around then.
We usually guesstimate about 35 minutes from the end of the game to when we're going to be on the air.
Spoiler alert, we guesstimated incorrectly.
We guessed very wrong. And spoiler alert part 2, I am here to assure you the minute Gambo does jump on the line, he will blame me for this error. He will blame me because I jinxed the game and said, wow, this game is really flying along fast. We're going to have a big show today. Wrong. And then I jinxed it because I said we're probably going to be on about 3:15, and I was doubly wrong. So I'm sure I'm fully prepared to play the role of the martyr and take the blame on this one.
I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if it's you guys. If it's just a group effort between the two of us.
No,
you guys were wrong.
So we've called him. We've texted him. We're like, dude, they went really fast on the postgame show. Get on, jump on, dial in, connect, something. We've called him.
Radio
we've texted
silence.
him. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing from him. Nothing from him at all. So he'll be here. We promise. And when he does, hey, it's the one, the only John Gambadoro, and he'll yell, what's up, Burnsy? And then we'll go from there. And surely we'll talk about this really disheartening Diamondbacks loss today that hopefully doesn't set back the plan too much. But in the meantime, we apologize that Gambo's not here. I guess it's our fault. I mean, right? Like, I mean, we gave him, we said, 4:15 is probably when we're going to be on there. That's about when we were pacing to be on.
No, I will say he said he would connect 1 minute from now. So I'm on the edge of my seat if he shows up.
I just got a text from Steve Zinsmeister. Apologies for derailing the beginning of the show. That's not your fault.
No, blame Steve.
You know, Steve, really? I mean, you seem kind of quick on the post-game show today, Steve.
Steve, you couldn't get a win for the D-backs.
I mean, jeez.
And now you've cursed the first 2 minutes of the show.
So, yeah, Gambo's going to check in at 4:10 and be like, what did I miss? What happened? What's going on here? So so now I ask you as the producer of the Burns and Gambo show, do we weigh in on the top story of the day? Do we wait for him? Do we do it twice?
Is the top story of the day Gambo didn't show up to the first few minutes of the show?
I don't know. No. That's not the top story of the day. The Diamondbacks losing today.
We can wait for him.
We
can wait for him.
Okay, we're gonna. So in the meantime, how you doing? How's the family? Everybody good? Everything? No, I'm kidding. We do have for a shorter edition of the Burns and Gambo show. We do have a lot to get to today. Obviously, this Diamondbacks game is going to be first and foremost. Also today, you're going to hear from Katel Marte. You're going to hear from Marvin Harrison Jr., both of whom are commenting on Marvin Harrison Jr.'s touches or lack thereof, or targets or lack thereof. We're going to get the latest on the Cardinals injury news, which I would imagine by now most people have heard. But you know what, just in case, I'll go over that real quick, as I'm sure he's going to come dialing in any minute and be like, what happened? And then we're going to, get into this Diamondbacks game. But if you missed the news today, Max Melton was back on the practice field and was practicing. Looked fine from the video that I saw. He is considered day-to-day. Will Johnson was not practicing today, but was described as Jonathan Gannon as being day-to-day. Garrett Williams was put on the injured reserve list. However, there's a chance he could be back this season. L.J. Collier was put on the injured list. There's a chance he could be back this year as well. So neither one of those are being defined as season-ending injuries. But obviously Garrett Williams won't be playing anytime soon, and neither will L.J. Collier. Max Melton, again, from the video I saw, he was on the practice field. He was getting things done. Will Johnson was not on the practice field, said that he's hopeful that he's going to be able to play, but he was not practicing today. So as far as the news from the Cardinals go, and Lauren, you host the Cardinals Corner podcast here on Arizona Sports, I think it's safe to say we were bracing for worse news than this when it comes to the injury. Like, I feel like Bullet kind of sort of dodged on this one. Yes, and is he?
I've got more exciting news to share.
What's going on, Gambo?
Birdsy, what's going on?
Steve Zinsmeister sends his apologies for going so fast in the post-game show.
I know. I got a message from Lauren, 4:15.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, okay, I'll log on at 4:10.
That's what we were aiming for, 4:15,
okay.
and all of a sudden it's 4:03, and it's like,
oh my
okay,
goodness.
let's go. Yeah. Thanks for answering your phone, by the way, and all the repeated text messages, too. We really appreciate that.
I mean, I got the message. I said, I'll log on at 4:15. It was like, okay, so.
The messages since then, the ones that said, they are done. We are live in 3 minutes. How about that one? Did you see that one? Yeah,
Didn't
no.
see that one.
Didn't see that one.
Good night, everybody.
No.
I thought you just needed me for that.
No, we need you for a lot more than that, Gambo. We count on you here on the Burns and Gambo show.
Oh, I'm just devastated with this loss. This one hurts.
Okay, hold on.
This one hurts.
We got to play the. We got to. There you go.
Burns and Gambo, the weigh-in.
Okay, now share your devastation with everybody.
This one hurts bad. I mean, this is, you felt like you had the game. This team's inability, I'd love to look it up. I think they played 18 extra inning games. I don't know how many times they've actually scored in the 10th inning with a runner on second. They just don't do it. They don't do it. I'd have to look it up, and I don't know. But I'm guessing it's a lot. But I love a pitcher's duel. I was on the edge of my seat the entire game. Congratulations to Brandon Pfaadt, man. That was the best game he's ever pitched in his life.
Right.
He was absolutely sensational. Verlander was just as good. It was absolutely just a terrific pitched game. You gotta take advantage, and you gotta take advantage in the 9th and the 10th. You gotta get those runs in, and they weren't able to do it, and it's very, very frustrating. And I don't know what's if I'm more pissed off at the 9th. Carroll triples. You got Corbin Carroll on first base. Marino walks because they throw 3 pitches out of the zone.
Yeah, Corbin Carroll on third base.
Carroll on third. Yeah, Corbin's on third after the triple. You got first and third, and then Blaze gets hit by a pitch. You got bases loaded. You go with Del Castillo hitting for McCann. I don't know if I like that. I really don't know if I do. He strikes out, and then Alec grounds out. You blew a big opportunity there. Corbin Carroll on third base with 1 out. You have to score.
Yes.
And then you look at the 10th, and you get in there, and you've got you got the runner on second in the 10th, and then you get the sacrifice bunt by Tim Tawa. Now you got Alec on third, less than 2 outs. Mm-hmm. Jake grounds out and Perdomo grounds out, and you don't get the run in. It's very, very, very frustrating to not be able to get a runner in from third base with less than 2 outs. It's very frustrating.
I couldn't find the answer to your question. I saw your question on Twitter about wanting to know how many times the Diamondbacks have failed to score with a runner on second in the 10th inning. Now, I looked as best I could. And all I could find
Maybe
was
somebody answered it.
I retweeted you and I answered it as best as I could. And what I found out was that in the 17 coming into today, in the 17 games in which the Diamondbacks had played extra innings, they scored 19 runs total. So it doesn't break it down by inning; it just says extra innings. But in extra innings this year, the Diamondbacks are hitting 215, and they had scored 19 runs in 17 games. So now it's 20 runs in 18 games that they have scored in extras this year. That's the 10th, the 11th, and what else? So
a guy
not
named
good,
Friar Norman, 11 minutes ago, said the D-backs have played 25 extra innings. They have scored 0 runs in 13 of those 25 innings. So 13 times they have come up and not been able to score a run.
Yeah. It's a lot.
I'd like to know how many it's in the 10th inning, because to me it's always like I've talked about this before. They never score in the 10th inning. Runner on second, get the run in, just get the run in.
Well, and that's where you talk about it's a tie, all right, because it's the 9th inning is frustrating because of what it cost Brandon Pfaadt. I mean, it's just it's a shame. It is a shame that Brandon Pfaadt was not able to get the win with his performance today. Okay, so you sit there and say the 9th is the worst, but then you look at it and you say, but in the 10th, here comes Brandon Garcia. He does unbelievable work to keep the Giants off the scoreboard, right? And you're thinking, okay, Giants got kept off the scoreboard. You just got to score 1 run, ghost runner at second, sack him over to third, and get him in somehow, and you win. I think not scoring in the 9th is worst because of what it meant for Brandon Pfaadt. But, man, any time you get a reliever who does a scoreless 10th for you and gives you that opportunity to win it, which is 1 run in the bottom of the 10th, and you waste it, man, that's a shame. It's such a waste. And now you're 2 games back of the New York Mets. The New York Mets will basically play 3 baseball games between now and the next time the Diamondbacks are on the field. They play.
Wow, I didn't think of that.
They play today at 4:10. Game just started. I need to find it in one of these TVs here. They play 4:10 today. They play 10:10 tomorrow against the Padres in both of them. And then they play a 4 o'clock game against the Washington Nationals on Friday. So by the time the Diamondbacks first pitch at 6:40 on Friday against the Philadelphia Phillies, the Mets will have played the Padres twice and the Nationals once. So now you got to sit back and just hope like heck.
Well, they're losing right now.
Well, there you go.
The Mets are losing right now.
Fantastic. That's great. That's great.
So, listen, you got to be happy taking 2 out of 3 from the Giants.
Sure.
You have to.
Sure.
It's hard to be satisfied right now because every game matters so much. But if I told you what's the most important thing going into this series, you would have said you got to take 2 out of 3. You have to have the tiebreaker.
Yep.
You have to.
I know.
And they did do that. But, I mean, you feel like it hurts because you should have won this game. Like you should have won the game. You had the runner 90 feet away twice with less than 2 outs. Score the run, win the game, get the sweep. Mets lose today. What would you have been? A half a game out?
Back. You'd have been a half game back. And you would have won another division game, which is ultimately what the tiebreaker is going to come down to between the Mets and the Diamondbacks, who has the better division record. So you squandered an opportunity to pat. Right now, the Diamondbacks have the lead in that little that kind of tiebreaker race right there. But you would have helped your case there. It was you're right. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to find that silver lining in this moment. Hey, they won 2 out of 3. They did their job. Yeah, you're right. We all would have taken it. We all would have said yes. You did what you needed to do. But, man, this game was so winnable. And how about Brandon Pfaadt in the start of his life today? I mean, the best start he's ever had in his life was today. Ever.
Longest outing, best start, dominant. When he gave up the no-hitter. I was talking to my son because on Wednesdays, that he gets home from school early. Like, Brandon Pfaadt's got a no-hitter. He goes, what inning? I go, it's going into the 6th. Got a no-hitter. And I'm like, oh, my, because he was just pitching so well. And even after the hit, it's like, okay. And I'm waiting, and the pitch count's low. He's getting a lot of those, outs on the first pitch. And I wonder if Torrey's going to leave him in. 6th inning, 7th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning. Obviously, you weren't going to pitch him in the 10th. But, man, he was just it was one of the best pitching performance by a Diamondback pitcher this year, bar none.
Yeah.
That might be the best. It might be the best pitching performance by a Diamondbacks pitcher.
All right, you mentioned the pinch hitting of ADC. Here's what Torey Lovello said about that after the game. You ready for this? He was asked about the debate between Vargas or Adrian Del Castillo. Here's what he said.
Yes and no. I like both guys. Del's swinging a good bat right now. He had a big home run yesterday. I was looking to get the ball elevated. That's all. That's it. He had some good swings, some really good swings. And the bottom line is he missed. He missed on a couple of key opportunities. Of course, I'll think about that all night.
He was just trying to get the ball in the air. With a runner at third, he was just trying to get the ball in the air and give the guy a chance to tag up. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they went with Del Castillo yesterday, a designated hitter, and he move obviously paid off. And Torrey bunted 4 times yesterday. I know we'll get into that game later. It's hard because you just need a sac fly. Now, there's times I sit there and I just, there are many times I sit there and I wonder if you could squeeze. Like, I do wonder if you could just squeeze and get that runner home. They didn't do it yesterday. They didn't do it today. But they're at Corbin Carroll on third base, especially with his speed. Man, I am thinking about that. I'm thinking now. They walk Marino. I got Blaze up. I might be looking to bunt with Blaze. I might be looking to get the bunt down and let's score. Now, McCann, Del Castillo, I'm sure that neither one of them are good bunters, so you're trying to get the ball in the air right there. But I think with Blaze at the plate, before he got hit by the pitch, I think I would have liked to have seen, because you can see Corbin was trying to rattle the pitcher. He was running halfway down the line to rattle the pitcher. You could see it. I would have absolutely thought about that in those situations. But in the end, Del Castillo gets the ball in the air, they win the baseball game.
Yep.
McCarthy gets the ball in the air, they win the baseball game. Yeah. And they didn't do their job. They didn't do their job.
The 4 guys who had the opportunity with the runner at third and 1 out, it was, as you mentioned, it was Del Castillo in the 9th, it was Alek Thomas in the 9th, it was McCarthy in the 10th, and it was Perdomo in the 10th. Perdomo especially is the one, and it's unfair to ask him to come through every time he's up or to think he's going to come through every time he's up. But he's the one guy where, in real time, I was watching the game back here in the studios and thinking, okay, this is it. This is going to be Geraldo Perdomo's magic moment in what's been a magic season, and he's had a lot of magic moments, but he's going to come through with another one right here. This is Torrey after the game, talking about the tough loss.
And the name of the game is executing at the most critical times. And unfortunately, we couldn't do that. Not for lack of effort, not for lack of trying. These guys know how to do it. We just couldn't deliver. And that's the frustrating part of this day. I feel like we were in position to win that game. We just couldn't pull the trigger and get it done. But we got to remember what our objectives are. It's not going to change. My mindset isn't going to change. Their mindset isn't going to change. We got to win baseball games, plain and simple. I don't care how we do it. We got to, flush this one as fast as possible. This one hurt. This one definitely hurt. They all hurt this time of the year, but flush it as fast as possible. We got another huge series coming up against the Phillies, and we got to go out and be at our competitive best. That's all I can say about what our mindset is right now, and dealing with some of this frustration.
Yeah, now they have to sit back like the rest of us and see what the Mets do. See how much help you get from the San Diego Padres.
Yeah. It hurt if the Mets win this game today. It hurts bad. It hurts bad.
Yeah.
If the Mets lose, listen. We never expected to be here. Every
inning is a gift from here on out. It truly is.
I was on the edge of my seat. All day. And I love pitchers' duels. You know that. You've done a show with me for a long time. I so much prefer a game like this over a 10-7 slugfest. But all I asked for a couple of weeks ago was give him a chance going into the final 3 games. Give him a chance. Just be within 2. Not 3 outs, impossible, right? Because you got to win 3, they got to lose 3. Probably not going to happen.
Right.
Be 2 out. Be 1 out. Give yourselves a chance going into that final series. Right now, the Mets are 3 games better than the Diamondbacks in the loss column. But if the Mets lose today, it's back to 2. And you're okay. You're running out of real estate, right? Yep. You've played 153 games. There's, 9 games left?
Yes.
But 2 games out with 9 to play is good. The Mets really need to lose this game today. So go Padres.
One more from Torrey, giving the hats off to the pitchers.
Hats off to our pitchers. And I think the emotional letdown after there's a run scored in extra innings, or a run or 2 that are scored in extra innings, is a real effect. So I think there was just a natural letdown once they got a couple of runs. So I'm not gonna be bothered by the 5 runs in the last inning. I'm bothered by the execution, the lack of execution inside of that inning that got us to that point. But we got to tighten a couple things up, and we will.
1-0 right now. It's 1-1. Just 1-1.
Mets tied it.
Yep, Mets just tied it. I just saw that a second ago. Pete Alonso, a home run in the bottom of the first. That pitching matchup is Peterson versus Pivetta. From Shea Stadium there in Queens. From Citi Field. Look at that.
Shea Stadium.
Look at that. I went old school like that. From Citi Field there in Flushing. Pete Alonso, the homer, and it's 1-1 right now. We will keep you updated on that game throughout the course of the day. When we come back here on the Burns and Gambo Show, we will turn our attention to the Arizona Cardinals after I remind you about how you can take our show with you wherever you go. If you can't catch us live, you can find us on demand on the Arizona Sports app, arizonasports.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Burns and Gambo podcast brought to you by Y-Refi. Don't let private student loan debt ruin your life. Go to yrefi.com. That's YREFY.com. Before we got Gambo on, we briefly went over the injury update from the Cardinals today. We'll dive into greater detail with what we know about that coming up on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2.
Tyson, he was a great player last year for ASU. But this year, doesn't he just look different?
Oh, man.
He looks like one of the top NFL prospects. He looks like a borderline NFL player already playing college football in these games.
Yeah.
And Tyson, even from last year, he was so productive. But this year, he is bigger. He looks bigger. He's playing bigger. He's making plays that you don't see college wide receivers make.
All plays are not created equal. And that touchdown was not something that you can just dismiss.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Dan Bickley here for Chapman BMW, an award-winning family-owned business since 1966. They offer unbeatable selection. They have a great reputation for making luxury attainable. And best of all, you have a friend in the business at Chapman BMW. Ask for my guy, GM Shane O'Hanrahan. He guarantees our listeners will get a smoking hot deal, the best you're going to find in Arizona. That's Chapman BMW. 2 great locations, 1 great experience.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
If you have old windows, they are probably driving up your energy bills. Cool things down with energy-efficient windows from the Window Depot. The Window Depot provides unbeatable value and a wide variety of in-stock and custom-order windows to fit your style and budget. Choose from our SI window brand, made in the USA for quality you can trust, or custom order from top manufacturers for a perfect fit. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you. Experience the best prices, the biggest inventory, only at the Window Depot.
Got unwanted guns at home? MMP Guns, a federally licensed dealer, is hosting a used gun buying event September 26th through 28th. Bring your firearms to 1152 East Indian School Road inside Mo Money Pond, and our experts will offer up top dollar, legally and safely. No hassle, no liability, just cash in your pocket. Doors open Friday at 10 a.m. Visit LegalGunBuyer.com for details. That's LegalGunBuyer.com. Don't miss it.
A new diamond era begins. Desert Diamond Casino White Tanks is now open. An atmosphere sparkling with excitement and top names like the legendary Morton's Steakhouse and signature Starbucks coffee. Best of all, this stunning new destination is right at Loop 303 and Northern Parkway. So come and live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donald Ogden Nation.
Everybody, Dan Bickley here, and if you're looking for a meal that's never boring and always packed with flavor, head to Sonic with over 10,000 drink combinations, iconic classics like cherry limeades, tots, and corn dogs, plus new favorites like the Double Sonic Smasher and Groovy Fries. There's something for everyone in your crew. And remember, order ahead with the Sonic app to score exclusive rewards like half-price drinks and slushes. Live free, eat Sonic.
I'm Lauren Colville with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. The Arizona Diamondbacks could not get it done today against the Giants. The D-backs lost 1-5 in extra innings, but Brandon Pfaadt pitched 9 scoreless innings today. And checking in on those wild card standings, the Mets and Padres are currently tied 1-1 in the top of the second. The Padres have a man on first. And per head coach Jonathan Gannon, Arizona Cardinals cornerbacks Max Melton and Will Johnson are not headed to the injured reserve. However, defensive lineman L.J. Collier and cornerback Garrett Williams are headed to the injured reserve, but have not been ruled out for the entire season. All 4 players were injured in Sunday's win against the Carolina Panthers. And the Phoenix Mercury will try to stave off elimination tonight at the New York Liberty. Tip-off for that one is at 5. And that's what's trending now.
Hey, this is Jaron, and tomorrow we will be joined by Mark Schlereth to talk Cardinals and NFL. Mark Schlereth, of course, also known as Stink. You know who else was known as Stink? Archie Bradley, for some reason.
I pooped my pants.
Tune in at 6 a.m. on Bickley and Murata Mornings.
I pooped my pants.
All right, back here on the Burns and Gambo Show. Hello to the YouTubers, by the way. If you know you can watch this on YouTube, you can. Hi, YouTubers.
Ciao.
Ciao.
¿Cómo está?
No, Gambo's working from home today, as we're on till 6, but he'll be back in the studio tomorrow.
How do you know?
That you'll be back in the studio tomorrow?
I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.
Because you will be, because I know you, and I know your stellar work ethic, and you'll be back in here tomorrow.
I'll be back.
It. You'll be back. I know it. Jonathan Gannon, and by the way, it's still 1-1 in the top of the second. The Padres have a runner in scoring position with 1 out at the top of the second right now. So we'll keep everybody.
I mean, they got one of their best pitchers going. Pavetta's great.
Yeah, Pavetta's fantastic. So we'll keep everybody hyper aware of this game.
Big game,
Suddenly we are in the middle of a pennant chase that we were just not expecting at all. Jonathan Gannon today, given the update, and Gimbo, we mentioned this while we were waiting for you to connect, that I think in terms of the news that we were bracing for with the Cardinals, this is probably the closest thing to a best-case scenario we could have found. I think. I feel that way. I feel like they, the Garrett
because
Williams
Will
one,
Johnson and Max Melton are okay.
Because they're not on the injured list, and because they're Max Melton was practicing today, and Will Johnson, he wasn't practicing today, but he's not on the IR. I think that's about the best you could have hoped for with those three guys.
Yeah, Garrett Williams, obviously with the knee injury, goes on the IR. I almost think that was expected when you saw the way he left the field. You agree?
Yes, I agree.
And
but I also felt the same way about Max Melton. When I saw Max Melton got carted off the field.
Yeah.
They came and got the cart for him. I was like, oh, boy, that's a bad sign. I was shocked to see that he was at practice today.
And L.J. Collier, obviously going on IR, knee injury.
Yep.
Both, they say, potentially could return.
Yep.
So haven't rolled those guys back from coming back. But, yeah, Max Melton at practice. Will Johnson not injured. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. I mean, depth is going to be challenged right now because, obviously, you lost Sean Murphy-Bunting before the season started. And then Starling Thomas.
Yep.
And now you're down Garrett Williams. This is an area where, they didn't go out and make a move because they obviously liked the guys they have, and the guys they have are really good. I understand that. But now you suffered 3 injuries at that position. 3 injuries in the secondary. Your depth is going to be tested.
Yeah, here's Jonathan Gannon basically reiterating this morning what Gambo and I just covered, but just so we get him official about it.
A couple updates that I'm sure you guys are itching at. Garrett Williams and L.J. Collier will both go to IR. Potential for both of them to come back this year. Max Melton will be out there today. Will Johnson will not be out there today. And we'll kind of see how the week goes for those two.
And then later when asked for clarification on the guys who, Will Johnson, who was not out there today, Max, who was.
What's your optimism level for Max and Will?
Day by day. See how they respond. See where it goes.
Okay. Will Johnson also met with the media earlier today as well. And even though he wasn't practicing Gambo, he says his groin feels a lot better over the last few days. He's taking it day by day. This is from Teo Mackey's Twitter account. Said that he thought the injury happened a few snaps before he exited, and he played through it for the rest of the drive, so he was playing with it for a while. When asked if he was optimistic about playing this week, Will Johnson responded, quote, "I feel optimistic about everything," close quote.
Okay.
So, how much you want to read into that, I don't know. But the fact that Max was out there, and I only saw a couple cut-ups of him practicing. He looked fine. I mean, he looked like he was moving around okay, which, again, was a real shock. But no matter how this goes, you're going to really miss Garrett Williams. I
really miss him, yep.
No timetable for when he's going to be back. He had really established himself, I thought, as truly one of the young, up-and-coming slot corners in this league, and that's a blow for sure. So now it becomes about Denzel Burke. Now it becomes about Keitrell Clark. Now it becomes about Elijah Jones. Suddenly,
and that's good, and that's good depth. Those are good football players, And Burke and Keitrell, they got some run last week, so they've got some talent there. But that talent is going to be tested. Make no mistake about it. These offensive coordinators are going to go into these game plans, and they're gonna test these guys when they're on the field. So, I think they're big losses, but this is what happens throughout the course of a season. The San Francisco game is going to be huge, and at least it's not their starting quarterback. It's Mac Jones. They're not playing the the world beaters as far as quarterbacks are concerned this year, so that might be a blessing in disguise.
Potentially, yeah, potentially. It does make you wonder. In today, they elevated Darren Hall from the practice squad to give him some more depth there.
And signed a guy to the practice squad.
And signed a guy to the practice squad, yeah. But this was one of those positions that when Sean Murphy-Bunting went down and when Star Thomas went down, we had wondered, okay, do you go get somebody? Do you look for somebody off the waiver wire? And they clearly felt good about the room that they had. This room has just gotten, a thin room got a little bit thinner now. And not knowing when Will Johnson's going to be back, you got to imagine that they might still be on the lookout for more cornerback help. Surely, if nothing else, add guys to the practice squad to be able to call up if something else happens. But this does put a ton of emphasis on Keitrell, who's played a lot of games for the Cardinals the last couple of years, and for Denzel Burke, who hasn't but played a lot of snaps last week. And hopefully that's enough to kind of get them through. And hopefully, quite frankly, the pass rush gives them a little bit more wiggle room back there. Makes life hard on these quarterbacks that you're talking about that aren't world beaters. This is where you're hoping your much improved pass rush takes some of the pressure off the guys in the secondary who are going to try to find themselves over these next few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, Keitrell Clark's got 30 games under his belt, okay? You're not throwing in a rookie, or you're not bringing somebody off the practice squad that's never played an NFL game. I mean, this guy was a draft pick by the Cardinals back in 2023. He's played in 30 football games. He has experience. So smaller cornerback, but a good football player. Like, he's a good football player. So it's your depth. That's what it's there for. You want to build quality depth. You're never going to get through a season unscathed. You're always going to have injuries, and your depth is going to be tested. And so that's where a guy like Keitrell Clark comes in. I like him. He's a good football player. Hopefully he'll be able to come in and help.
But that's where I say, at least in my mind, today could have been a lot worse. And to be honest with you, I woke up this morning and I thought, okay, bad news is coming today. There's a bad moon on the rise today.
Man.
There you go. When you see Max Melton getting carted off, and when you see Garrett Williams needing help in the locker room, and you just like your brain, at least my brain, goes to, okay, what is the worst case scenario here? And I'm here to tell you, Gambo, this is not the worst case scenario. This is far from the worst case scenario that I concocted in my own imagination when thinking about how bad these injuries.
Yeah, but it's also not the best case scenario.
No, of course not. No, the best case is that everybody's fine and nobody goes on the IR, and we still don't know. Like, Garrett Williams has a chance to come back, but and we know Jonathan Gannon's not going to be very specific about this. But when 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks? I mean, he didn't put a timetable on it, so we're not sure when he might even possibly be coming back. Same thing with LJ Collier. So, it could have been worse, but it could have been better, too.
So we checked on it. We checked on it yesterday, and what I was told at that time was we'll know in 24 hours. At that point, not everything was finalized. Still waiting on stuff. I know Tyler had asked me to, and I said I'm here in 24 hours. So they'll know in 20, and that's when it came out today. And here's what the updates are. So I think yesterday they were still just trying to get all the information they could, make the proper decisions for these guys, and then today, give everybody the information that two guys are going to be out for a little while, and Max is going to be able to play. Will's not going to practice today, but hopefully Will be okay for the San Francisco game. There's still time.
For what it's worth, Adam Schefter was the first to report it, and then Kyle Shanahan kind of doubled down on it today before or after 49ers practice. Schefter tweeted out that Brock Purdy was limited in practice today due to his toe and left shoulder injury. Kyle Shanahan once again said, and I quote, he has a chance, close quote, to play on Sunday, according to Kyle Shanahan. So again, gamesmanship, making the Cardinals prepare differently or adding an extra wrinkle or an actual legit chance. I don't know. But Kyle Shanahan is saying that Brock Purdy has a chance to play on Sunday, and he was limited in practice today. So he was out there doing some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if he is healthy and good to go, obviously they're going to play him, right? They're 2-0, so I wonder if if Brock Purdy is, we always say this is but when you get to the middle to the end of the season, nobody's 100%. Everybody's hurt at some point. But I wonder if being 2-0, if he's 85%. If he's being 2-0, does that give you the ability to kind of, or because it's a division game and it's a home game,
right?
You'll put him out there.
Yeah.
Not sure the answer to that.
Bottom of the second, the Padres are now up on the Mets 2-1. Jake Cronenworth, an RBI single that scored Jackson Merrill. And so they're in the bottom of the second with 2 outs right now. The Padres are beating the Mets by a score of 2-1. And once again, a reminder for you, the Mets will basically play 3 games by the time the Diamondbacks are on the field again on Friday night. Today against the Padres, tomorrow morning against the Padres, and then Friday afternoon against the Washington Nationals in a game that'll probably just about be wrapping up by the time the Diamondbacks first pitch against the Philadelphia Phillies.
Here's the good news. If they lose all 3, they're tied in the loss column.
If they lose all 3, they're tied in. See, the level of optimism you bring to the show. I mean,
that's what I'm here for.
You're bright.
That's what I'm here for.
You're sunny. You're cheerful. You're
they
here.
lose all 3, you're tied in the loss column.
You're here to lift all of our moods, Gambo. That's
what I do.
That's your job today, Gambo. That's your role.
I'm an optimistic guy.
When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, the Diamondbacks may have lost today, but they walked it off last night behind Jordan Lawler. How are they going to use Jordan Lawler moving forward? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Something tells me you know something about this.
I'll give you a hint.
I'm going to go, stay tuned for a hint next on Burns and Gambo.
Bickley and Marotta Mornings.
Diamondbacks reporter Todd Walsh. Frame up for us the absurdity, the improbability of what we are watching with this baseball team.
They're like the B side. The A side, the single, had the hook a mile long, 3 chords in the truth, but it just didn't work. So what do? You flip it over and hey man, this is pretty cool. This is great. It's a complete just flush of what we saw for so many months, we're so tortured by. And now you've got this B side where you're like, I like this. I like the way this plays. I like the way this sounds in my head. They're the B side.
Bickley and Marotta. Mornings on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Love telling you about the Lund Mortgage team, and they are here to help you today. I think there was some good news with the Fed interest rate cut, what it means for mortgages. The Lund Mortgage team is ready to answer all of your questions. But today, yes, the interest rate was cut by the Federal Reserve, and that's a welcome development for many, many Americans. So this is the first reduction since December of 2024. So the Lund Mortgage team can help you. What does it mean for mortgages? They can help you with all of that, with the rates, what it means for a 30-year mortgage, a 15-year mortgage, what it means for a refinance, what it means to get pre-approved. The Lund Mortgage team has over 30 years of experience right here in Arizona. It's the only mortgage company I've ever used. One, they're family-owned and operated. I love giving them my business because they are a family-owned and operated company, and they only do business in Arizona. They're not an 800 number in another state. So that's why you want to call the Lund Mortgage team, and you want to say, hey, how does this affect me? I've been looking to refinance for a long time. Is this a good time to refinance? Should I wait a little bit longer? How about getting pre-approved for a mortgage? They do that for you for free. So call them at 623-889-0130. That's 623-889-0130, or go to lundmortgage.com.
Toyotas are always a great value. Choose from best-selling models like Camry and RAV4 or rugged and dependable trucks like Tundra and Tacoma. Visit your Valley Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com. That's Viking.com. Viking.com.
Hey, home sellers. Arizona has had more homes that didn't sell in the past 6 months than in the previous 2 years combined. Thousands of sellers left stuck with no offers and no sale. Do what I did so you don't get stuck. Call Carol Royce, your home sold guaranteed realty. With Carol's guaranteed sale program, sell your home at a price acceptable to you or Carol will buy it. If your home didn't sell or you're thinking about selling, call Carol Royce today or visit carolhasthebuyers.com. That's carolhasthebuyers.com. Carolyn selling us to grand price and possession.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and we all know summers are never ending in Arizona, where it's way too hot outside for your AC to not be in tip-top shape. Call the pros at Parker & Sons for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, a company that has served the Valley for 50 years. They have got your back 24/7, and when you need them, they'll be there in minutes, not days. Call 602-2REPAIR. That's 602, the number 2, then REP AIR for Parker & Sons.
Burns and Gambo are back at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale on Friday, September 26th for a live broadcast from 2 till 6 for college pregame coverage. Come out, enjoy some food and drinks. It's the perfect way to kick off your college football weekend. Here's a bonus. Now through the end of September, just tell your server at DraftKings Sportsbook that Arizona Sports sent you, and you'll get complimentary chips and queso on the house. Burns and Gambo, Friday, September 26th at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
My name is Wes Tunsaker, and I'm a partner here at the law firm of Morris Hall.
I'm Andrea Klaus, managing partner.
I'm Tim Hall, and I'm thrilled to be part of this firm with wonderful partners, associates, and especially great clients.
We put clients first. I can't say enough about the team that we've got.
What estate planning is taking your assets, your legacy, and making sure that we plan for and protect that so that it goes to who you want, when you want, and how you want.
Estate planning is really caring about what impact you make while you're alive and caring about what happens when you're gone, not only to your estate that you leave, but to the people to whom you leave them or to the organizations.
If you have questions about a current estate plan or would like to review estate planning needs, you can reach out for a complimentary consultation.
We often say that estate planning is not just our practice, it's our privilege and it's our passion. Please come to see us.
Morris Hall, a premier estate planning law firm for over 55 years. Visit morrishall.com today.
Liberty GMC, 87th Avenue and West Bell Road in Peoria, or you can shop and buy online all the time at libertygmcaz.com. Nowhere can you buy a GMC for less than you can at Liberty GMC. Family-owned business. They've been doing it for a long, long time, and they offer you the very best when it comes to the very best that GMC has to make. Everybody knows them for the trucks and the SUVs. They're the best out there on the road. Right now, $13,500 in savings on a new 2025 Sierra 1500, $6,500 in savings on a new 2025 Sierra HD, or if you're looking to get into a new SUV, you can lease a 2026 GMC Terrain for only $289 a month for 39 months. Again, nowhere can you get a GMC for less than you can at Liberty GMC. 87th Avenue and West Bell Road in Peoria. Shop and buy online all the time. LibertyGMCAZ.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Here are the top three headlines on ArizonaSports.com, presented by Y-Refi. I'm Kevin Zimmerman. Kyler Murray apologizes for wearing a Michael Vick jersey in a photo shoot with his dog. Brandon Pfaadt pitches the best game of his career, but the D-backs lose to the Giants in extras. And the Cardinals placed Garrett Williams and L.J. Collier on injured reserve. Those are the top three headlines on ArizonaSports.com, presented by Y-Refi.
Two from Walker is cued. Back to the mound. It's under Walker's glove. Carroll scores! And the Diamondbacks win. 6-5 is your final.
It's a great moment for Jordan Lawler last night. I know it's been a struggle for most of his brief Major League career. I know recently, Gambo, it's been a real struggle for him defensively, just picking the ball up and throwing it where it needs to go. But he has been swinging a good stick as of late, and it was nice to see, after all the hype and all the talk about Jordan Lawler this, Jordan Lawler that, to see him kind of pay that off a little bit last night, albeit with a ball that was like 44 miles per hour off the
but
bat.
you know what? But that's what they say, right? You got to put the ball in play.
Yes.
You got to put the ball in play.
And
Don't strike out.
And he did.
Don't strike it. He put the ball in play. I give him credit, okay? Because, big situation. Did he drive the ball into the gap? And no, but it's a walk-off. The right side of their infield is not good defensively. It's not. So you got the ball hit there, and they come home and it's late, so you get credit with an infield single and an RBI and a walk-off win. But again, I mean, that's how you battle. You got to battle and you got to put the ball in play. He had been striking out a lot in the major league. So for him to not get the strikeout, to put the ball in play, helped get the run in. Tremendous game last night. Just a tremendous game. Great win for them. I immediately after the game asked Lovello about just getting the tiebreaker over the Giants, because that was the big deal. That's what we had talked about all along. You've got to win one of the next two going into yesterday's game. You got to win one out of two. You have to get that tiebreaker over the Giants. And he talked about how important it was because, obviously they lost out on that tiebreaker last year.
Look at you setting up the soundbite like a pro.
I'm aware of that. It's always important. I've learned that over the past couple of years because, we barely snuck in there in 23. We lost in the tiebreaker last year. That was heartbreaking with 89 wins. You don't ever expect that to happen. So when you can kind of cash in those mini chips and say, okay, we're going to check one more box in case there is a tie, we're going to be in a good spot. It was a really good win. So we got to keep winning games. We're going to be playing inside of our division. We know that there's a tie-breaking procedure. Say if it happens with the Mets, you got to have a good division record. So We're aware of those things, but I don't want us to focus on it. Just go out and play our game, and we're going to be just fine. But it was a massive win for a lot of reasons, and that was one of them.
I don't want to get too into minutia here, but I do want to bring this up. The tiebreaker with the Mets, if it comes to that, because they split the head-to-head series, it will come down to a divisional record. Now, after today, the Diamondbacks are 25 wins, 21 losses in their division. The Mets, and they have 6 more division games, 3 against the Dodgers and 3 against the Padres. Okay. The Mets are 23-23 against their division. So right now, the Diamondbacks have the advantage by it could have been a 3-game lead had they won that game today. The Mets have remaining series against the Nationals and the Marlins. So
so they got a +6 too.
Yeah, so they
they got 6 games. They got 6 games left.
Exactly, they got 6 games left against 2 pretty bad teams. Although the Marlins are playing okay. So there's going to be that one is probably going to come right down to the wire. The Diamondbacks have a little bit of cushion on that one, but a much more difficult schedule in the division than the Mets do the rest of the way.
I don't think it does.
You don't think it'll come into play?
No, because here's why. For the Mets to catch the Diamondbacks in that category, they got to pick up 2 games on them. If they pick up 2 games on them, it's probably too big of a deficit for the Diamondbacks to overcome.
Okay.
You're like, that's pretty genius right there. I know. Your mind's like, that's actually really, really smart. If the Mets are 2 games behind, if they pick up 2 games, that means they won 2 and the Diamondbacks lost 2.
Oh, and that means
and that means that now they're
that means
4
that
games out, 5 games
right.
out.
So,
it doesn't
now
matter.
It does the tiebreaker. Okay, you know what?
It doesn't matter.
You know what? Okay, maybe not a total genius statement, but I'll give you like a 60% genius statement. Lawrence,
come on.
Lawrence
come on.
Lawrence.
That's come on. That's sheer brilliance right there.
That's sheer brilliance?
You're talking about a tiebreaker that's really not going to matter because again, if the Mets and the Diamondbacks are 2 games ahead of them, if the Mets catch them, it means it's 2 more games that they're ahead of the Diamondbacks by anyway.
Right.
It's over.
I'm just saying it's not like Einsteinian level theory of relativity type genius, but
There's
it's
no
something
way
I hadn't considered.
There's no way possible that the Mets can tie the Diamondbacks in this situation and not win the
and not just
the wild
outright
card.
win the wild card.
No, there's no way. No way.
Oh,
There's no way.
I'm not debating that. I'm just debating you calling yourself a genius for coming up with it. That's all. What do you know about Jordan Lawler? Tell me about that. What's this hint?
Here's what I would expect. I think he's going to get his at-bats. I don't know that he's going to see the field very much, if he sees the field at all.
Okay.
I think he's going to get at-bats. I think they're going to get him out there, occasional DH, things like that. I wouldn't expect that you'll see in the remaining 9 games Jordan Lawler out in the field 5 times. I just don't think you will. I think he's got a lot of work to do. I think they've got to work with him. Can't have the type of game he had the other day with the 2 errors. It's brutal. It cost your team a game. You can't do it. So I don't think that with 9 games left, they're in the, I don't think we can, hey, let's teach him and let's trial by fire and let's put him out there and hope that he does okay. You can't do that. You've got to put your best team out there on the field, a team that's not going to give the game away and not going to make errors. And I don't think that's Jordan right now. That doesn't mean it won't be him next year, but I think that he's here, and I think he'll get at bats, but I don't know if it's going to be any more than that.
It was nice to see Katel Marte contribute last night. He had the game-tying RBI single. He had a double later. He was stranded on base, kind of a continuation of a trend.
It was good to see Katel. It was good to see Katel.
It was good to see him hit the ball and hit the ball hard. He went 0 for 5 today.
I know.
It was kind of 1 step forward, 2 steps back for him. I know that the manager has spoken quite a bit about Katel's struggles and things like that. They need him. They need him in the worst kind of way to be great Katel, good Katel, better than 0 for 5 Katel. Because if he is, it really does make this a whole lot easier. It doesn't mean they get it. It just makes it a whole lot easier when he's the Katel Marte who's not doing an 0 for 5 and just almost. I know last night was great, but man, it feels like the last couple of weeks he's been like an automatic out up there every time he's been up. He's been a real deep struggle for him.
Yeah, he had a hustle double yesterday, and it was good to see. And he had a single, and it was good to see. And as much as the Katel Marte stands out there, oh, you want him to – yeah, sure, I want him to make it out. So I want them to win, okay? Yeah. I want them to win. I hope Katel Marte goes 4 for 4 with 4 home runs. That's what I hope for. But overall, and the 0 for 5 today makes it a lot worse. He was batting 185 this month going into today's game. He was 10 for 54. Now he's 10 for 59. So that batting average, let me see, 59. Try to do batting averages here.
Well, if you were a genius, you would have figured this out like on the top of
Yeah, I'm not a genius,
no,
but
okay.
yeah. But so I bat. Okay, he's batting 169. There you go. I did the batting average
in the month of September.
Yeah, he's batting 160. His batting average went from 185 today to 169.
Yeah, not good.
I could do batting averages.
We figured you.
Don't
could
ask
do
me how to do, wins of blood replacement or
I would
expected
run added. Yeah, no, I would never ask you to do that. No,
don't ask me to do anything Jack Summers do. I don't know how to do any of that.
I know you know your limitations. When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, does the Cardinals offense have limitations when it comes to their ability to get the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr.? Kyler says no. Marvin Harrison Jr. says no. They're not worried about it. We'll talk about it next on Burns and Gambo.
The Arizona Sports YouTube channel. Just the local sports leader doing what we do on YouTube. Serve yourself some Arizona sports for live shows, podcasts, viral clips, shorts, and more. Subscribe to the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
All right, back here for V's Barbershop locations all across the valley, and when I say that, I really mean that. They have expanded their footprint. They're out there in Buckeye. They're out there in East Mesa. Their new location, V's Barbershop, Cadence Eastmark, right off of Ray Road near Ellsworth. They have taken the V's experience, the one where they hire the best barbers, sometimes not only in town but in the country. They hire the best barbers. They give you this really cool, old-fashioned, old-school experience that you're going to feel so comfortable the minute you walk in. There's nothing sterile and cold about it at all. You walk in, it's just warm, inviting, and friendly and awesome. I love my V's Barbershop in Gilbert. I love the laughs that I have every time I go in there when I'm giving one of them grief about the Dallas Cowboys. You'll find all of that, no matter which location you go to. They modeled it all after the original in Arcadia, and after 25 years, they've grown and expanded, and they all feel exactly the same. Next time you need a great haircut, go to vbarbershop.com and book your experience today at V's.
We're calling professional wide receiver Michael Wilson. Hey, Michael, where are you?
I'm on my way to practice in my Arrowhead Honda. Man, I absolutely love it. The team at Arrowhead Honda takes great care of their customers, and they're really like family to me. The game isn't till Sunday, but I feel like I've already won with Arrowhead Honda.
Head down to Arrowhead Honda today and score big with unbeatable deals and top-notch service.
Be sure to tell them number 14, Michael Wilson, sent you. Go Red.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here from my friends at Advanced Window Products, a great company that is offering a great promotion for our listeners. Advanced Window Products going to hook up one lucky household with up to 15 replacement windows for free. That's a value of up to $25,000, and all you have to do is pull out your phone and text AWP to 620-620. Advanced Window Products, a local window and door manufacturing company that sells directly to the public with no middleman markups. They've got their own factory in the valley. They're the highest rated window company in the state with the most affordable, high quality custom windows you are going to find. They'll build your windows, they'll install your windows, then they'll guarantee them for life. You can find them online at advancedwindows.com, and remember, enter now for a chance to win a house full of free windows by texting AWP to 620-620. That's AWP to 620-620.
Message and data rates may apply.
A new diamond era begins. Desert Diamond Casino White Tanks is now open. An atmosphere sparkling with excitement and top names like the legendary Morton's Steakhouse and signature Starbucks coffee. Best of all, this stunning new destination is right at Loop 303 and Northern Parkway. So come and live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donna Autumn Nation.
Hey, it's Wolf, and I've got to give a huge shout out to the team that just transformed my yard into an oasis with artificial grass. That is Legacy Green Solutions. These guys are the real deal. Family owned and operated in the basin for over 25 years, voted best of the valley. Legacy Green Solutions uses premium American-made turf with certified installation that looks and feels natural. Right now, Legacy is offering a limited time deal. Mention Wolf and get 15% off. Just text GREEN to 620-620 or visit LegacyGreenSolutions.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Love telling you about the Schwartz Laser Eye Center and Dr. Jay Schwartz, who is offering 2 years of interest-free financing for your vision correction procedure right now. 2 years of interest-free financing at the Schwartz Laser Eye Center. If you want to get a vision correction procedure, nobody does it better than the Schwartz Laser Eye Center. Dr. Schwartz has locations in Glendale and Scottsdale and Mesa. And, of course, he offers 2 years of interest-free financing. He's the team eye doctor for your sons and your D-backs. And he is my team eye doctor. For me and my entire family, we went to the Schwartz Laser Eye Center. That's where I got my LASIK surgery done. I'll be 59 in a couple months. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. I see great daytime, nighttime, up close, far away. I'm the perfect example to ask about the Schwartz Laser Eye Center. Is it worth it to get it? Yes. Did you have any pain? Nope, it was easy. It was like you go in, you have the surgery. It's pretty easy. You go home, and you sleep for a little bit. You wake up, and all of a sudden you see a lot better. That's how it worked for me. That's how it worked for me in the Schwartz Laser Eye Center. Call them at 480-483-EYES or go online at teamidoc.com.
KMVP FM Phoenix, live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studio. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
I'm Lauren Koval with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. The Arizona Diamondbacks could not get it done today against the Giants. The D-backs lost 1-5 in extra innings, but Brandon Pfaadt pitched 9 scoreless innings today for the D-backs. And a check-in on the wild card race. The New York Mets are currently down 2-1 to the San Diego Padres. It is the top of the 4th inning right now. And per head coach Jonathan Gannon, Arizona Cardinals cornerbacks Max Melton and Will Johnson are not headed to the IR. However, defensive lineman LJ Collier and cornerback Garrett Williams are headed to the IR, but have not been ruled out for the entire season. All 4 players were injured in Sunday's win against the Carolina Panthers. And the Phoenix Mercury will try to avoid elimination tonight at the New York Liberty. Tip-off for that one is just a few minutes from now. This report is brought to you by Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. Join the football watch parties every Sunday with special guests, food and drink specials, and more, only at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort.
Hey, it's Wolf. What does the Arizona Cardinals defense need to do better in Week 3 against the 49ers? We'll ask 15-year NFL veteran Lorenzo Alexander tomorrow at 11 on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports YouTube channel, and the Arizona Sports app.
You got a tip jar this one. They were just another band out of Boston on the road to try and make ends meet, Bernsey.
Before you even
playing
said
all
anything,
the bars, sleeping in their cars, and they practiced in the street.
Before you even said anything, I could hear you through the mic go, shh. Like I sound like I knew it was coming.
Anticipating love and music, Bernsey. What a great song! Just a great song.
All right, tip jar. At some point, that tip jar is getting pretty full.
Yeah, I'm ready. Where's that pizza place open up yet?
That pizza place to open up down the street so we can.
Lauren, what do you got on that
cash
thing?
in a tip jar.
You got tomorrow, Friday? I'll go Friday. What do you got?
It's not open yet. I drive by and it looks open, and it's teasing me. It's not.
It's not?
No.
It's a Detroit-style pizza place, right?
Yes.
What's it called?
Jets.
Jet Pizza? Jets Pizza. Okay.
All right, maybe I'll just get a Sicilian anyway for Friday. I'll go to NYPD or something. We'll get a big Sicilian pie.
All right. I mean, I'm not going to say no to that. I know that. Lauren is not going to say that.
Everybody's waiting.
Kyler Murray was asked today if he feels like Marvin Harrison Jr. should get more targets in the game. Here was his very diplomatic answer.
You know, I say it every time. Like, do I wish all of them could get 10 targets a game? Of course. There's only one ball. You know, we've been playing this game for a long time. We all understand how it goes. Some days he's going to get 10. Some days he might get 3, whatever it is. And Mike might get 8. You know, you never know. But each one of those guys are ready to make plays and do their job at a high level.
But Marv himself might have had the definitive answer on this when he was asked about people saying he needs to get more targets. This is what he said today.
Yeah, that's a silly conversation, really. We're 2-0. That's the most important thing. Got two big games coming out, one big game this week, so that's really my only focus.
Oh, my God, I love that answer.
It's a silly conversation.
Oh, I love it.
We're 2-0.
We're 2-0. I mean, listen, you know me. I love when guys talk about winning.
Yeah.
Not personal stats and numbers. Talk about winning. Of course you'd love to get the ball more. Like, right? I mean, they're 2-0. And that's what matters. So whatever you have to do to win a football game, if he has to only have 2 catches to win a football game, he's okay with that. If he has to block the entire game, he's okay. He wants to win. I love hearing guys talk about, I want to win over, personal accolades and stats. But with that being said, there is a direct correlation to the more he's involved and the better he does, the better chances you will have of beating the better teams that you are going to play on your schedule.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the best way of putting it, to be honest with you, is, okay, you've gotten a 2-0 now, and yes, that is the most important thing, with you getting, 6 targets and 5 catches in game 1, 5 targets and 2 catches in game 2. That's been good enough. And not that Marvin Harrison's targets correlate directly to wins and losses, but to your point, the best version of this offense is him getting more than 5 targets and him getting more than 2 catches. And at some point, that will not be good enough for them to keep winning. And I think everybody knows that. I think Drew Petzing knows that. I think Kyler Murray knows that. So there's an understanding of that. For now, they've been able to get away with it. At some point in the future, they probably won't, and I think they all understand that at some level. I know they do.
You play New Orleans and Carolina. What we always say, your best players have to play well for you to win. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant had to play well for the Suns to win. Your best players have to win. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray are going to have to play really well for them to win when they play good teams. When they play good, now you could get by against Carolina and New Orleans because they're not very good. But when you start to play better teams, like if we're coming in here on Monday and Marvin Harrison Jr. had 2 catches against San Francisco and they win, I'll be shocked. Stranger things have happened, but like you would expect that when you start to play better football teams, that your best players have to step up and play well.
Yeah. Kyler Murray, again, talking about what could have happened on Sunday against the Panthers, that they could have done better, but expressing happiness about being 2-0.
Do I feel like we could be better? Do I feel like we can be more explosive? Yes. But then they were 2-0. Offensively, I think, we went backwards a little bit too much when it comes to penalties and kind of killing ourselves. Move the ball. Okay, bam, boom. Penalty, back, first or second and 20, whatever it is. Like, that stuff right there kills drives. And obviously, and then I had the interception. So being able to be in a position to put that game away a lot earlier, obviously, is what we wanted to do, and not doing is frustrating. But again, I think, going forward, we understand as an offense we got to be better.
And to your point, Marvin Harrison Jr. went on to say, look, of course, what Kyler said, everybody wants the ball.
Everybody wants the ball. That's just no. Anybody that's a competitor loves the game, loves what they do. Everybody wants the ball. They want to impact the game. But most importantly, it's all about winning.
Yeah, but he's not going to put that ahead of team stats, team success, team wins, team losses. So there's a happy medium here. I'll continue to believe, Gambo, I really do believe this, that what we saw in game 1 against the Saints was probably the model for mostly how this should look when it comes to Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr.
6 targets, 5 catches.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little more than that, but not, given that Trey McBride is such an invaluable part of the offense as well, as is establishing the run game. I don't think much more than that is going to be needed for them to win, given the other weapons they have offensively. Again, maybe a little more, maybe 8 targets, 9 targets with 6 or 7 catches, but yeah. I don't think you need much more than that. I thought their connection against the Saints, not against the Panthers, but against the Saints, was a pretty close model to what you would like it to be on most Sundays, I think.
We talked yesterday, the comparisons with Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr. And look, let's be honest. I mean, it's not close. Malik Neighbors has a lot more catches through his career, and he's got a lot more yards, and he's a lot more a focal point of their offense, and he gets a lot more targets. His targets have actually gone up from last year to this year, while Marvin Harrison Jr.'s targets have gone down.
Yeah.
But the big part of that, as we discussed yesterday, is that the offenses are so different. This offense wants to run the ball with James Conner, and this offense has a premier tight end in Trey McBride. The Giants don't have either one of those until Cam Scatterboo steps up and, dominates. They have one major weapon, and they want to go to him 12 times a game. And if Marvin Harrison Jr. was there, that might be the same case because they're not surrounded with the same talent. Nobody's drafting a Giants tight end in fantasy football. Like, they don't have a lot of talent, so they're going to go to Neighbors early and often as much as they can, even if he's double-teamed. And if Marvin Harrison Jr. was there, it might be the same thing. So Well, you can look at it and say, okay, did the Cardinals make a mistake? Is Malik Neighbors a lot better? It is the situation, and it's much different for those two guys because of where they play.
Yeah, and I also think it's a mistake. I also think it's a mistake to just kind of make a blanket statement. Oh, they've got to throw the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. a whole lot more. They've got to give him the same amount of targets as Malik Neighbors. I just think that kind of reflects maybe not an understanding of how good Trey McBride is and how the run game is essential to what they're doing. I would agree he needs more targets. Obviously, he needs more. But I don't think he needs Malik Neighbors level targets. I just don't think when you've got a Trey McBride, I just don't think that's the requirement out of your offense. We'd all like to see Marvin Harrison Jr. put up Larry Fitzgerald-type numbers. I just don't know if this offense is right now, today. Now, like you said yesterday, when James Conner – When he's not as effective as he once was, maybe that changes the equation. Or if there's a different quarterback other than Kyler Murray, maybe that changes the equation. But for now, with what you've got and who you're dealing with, I think this is kind of the equation for how you're going to try to win football games.
Yeah, unless, there might be a game in which there's a really tough matchup for Trey McBride.
Maybe.
Most games he's a mismatch. And if is there a game where it seems like, okay, we're going to let anybody beat us with Trey McBride. Like, we're going to absolutely just, cover him with two guys and, like, blanket him. And, well, then you might say, okay, let's go to Marvin Harrison Jr. a lot more. So I think that there will be a few games like that. I don't think all 17 games are going to be the same coverage for these guys. So, there might be some defensive coordinators that say, look, I'm going to sell out to stop Trey McBride. That's the one guy that's not going to beat me, and I'll let Marvin Harrison Jr. beat me if he does. So we'll see. So that's where you'll have a couple of those games in which Marvin gets a lot more targets and has a lot more catches.
Cardinal fans, Sun Devil fans, next week is a huge week for both of the football teams. We're giving you the home field advantage with free tickets to both of the games next week, starting Monday. Listen for the Sounder during Bickley and Murata at 7:15, Wolf and Luke at 12:15, and Burns and Gambo at 4:15 for your shot to win 2 tickets. Cardinals on Thursday Night Football, ASU on Friday night. Plus, don't miss extra chances to win on our contest page and the Arizona Sports YouTube page. Diamondbacks did not sweep the Giants. They did get the series win. We'll talk about it. Big picture, we'll check in on the wild card standings. There's been a change in the Mets-Padres game. We'll give you the update on that. And Troy Lavello moving things around a little bit with the rotation. We'll tell you about that next as well on the Burns and Gambo Show.
At 2:30 on Arizona Sports. Burns and Gambo talk Diamondbacks baseball with D-backs manager Torey Lavello. Brought to you by Estrella Jalisco. Don't miss Burns and Gambo with the skipper. 2:30 Friday afternoon. Listen on the Arizona Sports app and 98.7.
Part of the reason why Global Credit Union is just so much better than doing your banking with a traditional bank is because at Global Credit Union, you're a member, you belong, you're part of a collective, you're part of, everybody kind of doing it all and with a better banking benefits that come with being a member of Global Credit Union. Global Credit Union is committed to having their members paying low to no fees on their accounts. Global Credit Union is committed to giving you a better interest rate than you can get at a bank. And because of all of that, if you were a member of Global Credit Union, I'm a member of Global Credit Union, collectively, they saved $195 million last year because of that. It's a different way to bank. It's a better way to bank. There's 10 branches throughout the valley, easy-to-use mobile app. Explore all the benefits of becoming a member by going to globalcu.org. Your world of financial possibilities. Free checking and no monthly maintenance fee only apply to core checking accounts. Direct deposit required for early payday. Other fees may apply.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
It's kickoff time. Score big at Freeway Chevrolet with our kickoff special. Triple your rebate on all new trucks and SUVs. Every new vehicle in stock. No exclusions. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Kickoff special available on new inventory only. Cannot be combined with any other offers or incentives. NCC rebate only. On approved credit. See dealer for complete details.
Freeway. Chevrolet. I-10. And Ray. My name is Wes Tunsaker, and I'm a partner here at the law firm of Morris Hall.
I'm Andrea Klaus, managing partner.
I'm Tim Hall, and I'm thrilled to be part of this firm with wonderful partners, associates, and especially great clients.
We put clients first. I can't say enough about the team that we've got.
What estate planning is taking your assets, your legacy, and making sure that we plan for and protect that so that it goes to who you want, when you want, and how you want.
Estate planning is really caring about what impact you make while you're alive and caring about what happens when you're gone, not only to your estate that you leave, but to the people to whom you leave them or to the organizations.
If you have questions about a current estate plan or would like to review estate planning needs, you can reach out for a complimentary consultation.
We often say that estate planning is not just our practice, it's our privilege and it's our passion. Please come to see us.
Morris Hall, a premier estate planning law firm for over 55 years. Visit morrishall.com today.
Purchase a Stranger Things special event ticket pack for Friday, September 19th and receive an exclusive hat and D-backs versus Phillies game ticket. Get your tickets now at dbacks.com/strangerthings.
Love telling you about Christian Brothers, and one of the main things is just, instead of like talking about AC and plumbing and all the things that they do that you've probably heard of, they've been serving the Valley since 1976. We're a year away from them serving the Valley for 50 years. It's all in their name, Christian Brothers. They do a great job of giving people great service at a great price, never selling you something you don't need, and always trying to fix whatever issue you have without having to sell you something that's new. They've got a great team. They've been with them for a long time. They can help you with any of your AC needs, any of your water needs, plumbing needs, electric needs. Hey, I had a major electric problem just a few weeks ago. I had them come out, and they did a great job for me. You're going to get 5-star results. You're going to get 5-star results when you use Christian Brothers. They've been very proud to serve the Valley for this long. They have upfront pricing, honest service. It's all anybody really wants when they're hiring a plumbing company or an AC company or an electric company. You just want honesty, integrity. You want to feel like you're getting a good price for fair value, and that's what Christian Brothers is all about. So I just want to recommend that if you need anything in plumbing or AC or electric, give them a call. 602-222-3535. That's 602-222-3535, or go to cbrothers.com.
Hey, it's Luke. How can ASU football leave Waco with a big conference road win over Baylor? We'll get into that tomorrow at 10 on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports YouTube channel, and the Arizona Sports app.
All right, as promised, a Marte home run for the New York Mets has tied the game at 2. So that is where things stand right there in that game. Starling Marte has hit a solo home run that was coming in the bottom of the 4th. The Padres and the Mets are tied 2 games apiece. As I mentioned this earlier, Gamble, I mentioned it again for a new audience or in case people weren't with us an hour ago when we got on the air. The New York Mets, the Diamondbacks are now 2 games back of the New York Mets overall, in the loss column. I'm just looking at the overall standings. They're 2 games back. The New York Mets will play 3 basically full baseball games before we see the Diamondbacks again on a field. So this picture is going to change a lot before the next time the Diamondbacks play when they take on the Phillies on Friday night. The Mets are playing the Padres now. It's 2-2 in the 5th. The Mets are playing the Padres tomorrow at 10:10 in the morning. And then the Mets are playing the Nationals Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock in a game that will probably almost be, if not completely over, by the time the Diamondbacks take the field against the Phillies. It is crazy. This picture is potentially really going to change before the next time we see the Diamondbacks play a game. It's kind of weird to think about it that way.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I mean, if the Mets lost all 3, they'd be tied in the loss column. You would be tied in the loss column if the Mets lose all 3 of those games. I think you hope for 2 out of 3. You hope they don't win 3 in a row, but you hope they lose 2 out of 3. You just want to give yourself a chance going into the final 3 games. They were so far out of this. The Mets collapse is the only reason why they're in this thing. I mean, last year the Diamondbacks won 89 baseball games, and they did not make the playoffs. And right now they have 77 wins. Even if they went 9-0, they would still finish 3 games worse than they were last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is crazy, and they're 1 game over 500, but they're in this thing because of a Mets collapse.
Yeah, today's game was a real unfortunate loss for the Diamondbacks. They all are at this point, but this one could have so easily been theirs. They had multiple opportunities to win this baseball game, in particular in the 9th and the 10th inning. Brandon Pfaadt, we'll get to him in a minute. He was brilliant today, but the Diamondbacks in a scoreless game in the bottom of the 9th after a Corbin Carroll triple with 1 out. Moreno was walked intentionally. Blaze Alexander was hit by a pitch. So the bases are loaded with just 1 out. Del Castillo strikes out looking. Alec Thomas grounds out to the pitcher. Threat over. They go to the 10th. Brandon Garcia does an amazing job pitching in the 10th to keep the ghost runner on and not scoring. So once again, another opportunity for the Diamondbacks with a runner in scoring position in the 10th. Tawa sacrifices Thomas over to third. So once again, runner at third, 1 out, just like in the 9th. Jake McCarthy grounds out to first. Perdomo grounds out to second. The Giants score 5 in the top half of the 11th, and that is that for the Diamondbacks. A really frustrating game today.
Frustrating game. And the amount of times that they're not able to get a runner in the 10th inning, I think it's 10 times. I think somebody actually mentioned it today, just recently, because I was asking, it just seems to me like they are always in the 10th inning with a runner on second, and they can't get the guy. So somebody said they are 7-10 in that situation. I think that's 7 times they've gotten a run in, 10 times they have not gotten a run in with a runner on second and nobody out in these situations. And today, not only the 9th inning, but the 10th inning couldn't get runners in. Corbin Carroll's on third base. You had first and third. You just could not get that fly ball, that sac fly, the wild pitch, the pass ball, the error, anything that you needed to get that run in and win the game.
The shame of it, the shame of it was a game that you could have won that would have helped you out in this crazy wild card race. The shame of it, part 2, was Brandon Pfaadt. 9 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 strikeout, or 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. And you start talking about, it's amazing to think this year that in a game in which Eugenio Suarez hit 4 home runs, the Diamondbacks lost. And in a game in which Brandon Pfaadt does this, the Diamondbacks lose, right? Like these special individual accomplishments that don't get paid off with wins is you talk about frustrating on top of frustrating, right? Like that's a very special achievement for Brandon Pfaadt today. And he got a no decision in a game in which he went 9 innings and was absolutely dominant today.
Yeah, I've never seen him pitch that well. That's the best game he's ever pitched in his life. It's the longest he's ever gone. He had never gone that deep into a game. He had a no-hitter, going into the 6th inning. He only allowed the 1 hit. And that was it. And that was I think it was the one to Gilbert. I think Gilbert, who, by the way, had he had 75 putouts in the game today. Like, every ball was hit to center field. I would love to know how many putouts he had.
Either that or all the pop-ups in foul territory to Rafael Devers, man. He felt like he had 3 or 4 of them, too. So, yeah, it was that kind of game.
Every time I look, man, that guy Gilbert was running down a ball to his right, running down the ball to his coming up. He made so many catches in center field. The Diamondbacks just kept hitting everything to him. But it was as good a game that Brandon Pfaadt's ever had, and he's very close now to going under that 5 ERA. Remember, they had Gallen over 5, they had Erod over 5, and they had Pfaadt over 5. Gallen was able to get the ERA under 5. Erod, I think, came under 5, but then I don't know about what happened last night if they made it back up
again. He went under 5. He is now, I'm assuming, he's at 5.12. He's back over.
Tough start to the game for Erod.
Yeah, the fact that he gave him 5 last night was a minor miracle. It's crazy when you look at the history of it for Brandon Pfaadt. Last Diamondbacks pitcher to throw 9 innings in a start was Zach Gallen back in 2023. He did that against the Cubs. I remember it like it was yesterday. Before that, it was Tyler Gilbert's no-hitter. That was the last Diamondback before Zach Gallen to throw 9 in a start. This is from AZ Snake Pit. The last Diamondback to throw 9 scoreless innings and get a no decision, Edwin Jackson back in 2010 in a game that went 14 innings in Dodger Stadium. The only other player to do it was Miguel Batista back in 2002. 9 scoreless innings and a no decision. After the game, Pfaadt shouted out James McCann as catcher.
I want to shout out McCann back there. A lot of that credit goes to him. He had me dialed in all day, and he was calling all the pitches back there, so I just had to execute it. So big shout out to him, and that's mostly everything was working today, and we were able to to get ahead, get some crucial double plays, and the defense made some great plays as well.
By the way, I'd like to have that guy back next year.
James McCann?
I would like to have him back.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's 35 years old, but I'd like to have him back.
Bring him back. Absolutely. There was news before the game. The Diamondbacks, Torey Lovullo, announcing they're going to a 4-man pitching rotation for the rest of the season. Here's Torey.
We are going to go into a 4-man rotation. We're going to bump Chris Mott into the bullpen. So it will be, let's see, Gallen, Erod, Fott, Nelly. So just that'll be the pattern. Gallen, Erod, Fott, Nelly.
Between the off day.
So Chris Mott out.
Chris Mott's out. He's in the bullpen. Between the off day tomorrow and the off day on Monday, they can kind of compress everybody now. So Ryan Nelson's got 3 more starts. Zach Gallen's got 2 more starts. Brandon Fott's got 2 more starts. Erod's got 2 more as well. So yeah, they're compressing everybody now.
So basically, because you were looking at going into yesterday, I said this Gallen's got 2 and Erod has 3. But what you're doing is you're taking Chris Mott out of the rotation, you're putting him into the bullpen, so that gives him another bullpen arm, and they go with the guys. They go with their best guys. They go with their best guys down the stretch with all these games. And not that Chris Mott's been bad. He's been good for them. But
you know who it benefits? It benefits Ryan Nelson.
Because he gets an extra start.
He gets the extra start.
Yeah,
I mean, which I think is a very strategic, smart. Yeah, give him the extra start. He's been really good for them. Give him the extra start. Fine. I got no problem with that.
I agree.
If I'm eyeballing it, it looks like he's the one who gets the extra start who otherwise wouldn't have. I think. Maybe
I think you're right.
Maybe Fott gets an extra one too that he wouldn't have, but I think it's mostly Nelson who benefits from that. So
I don't know if you got the game on, but the Padres have the bases loaded against the Mets.
I do have the game on as Manny Machado is up right now with the bases loaded and one out at the top of the 5th. You know what? I promise you when we come back, we will give you an update on that game. In the meantime, let me remind you, you can catch every headline. Visit the watch page at ArizonaSports.com for the latest on the Cardinals' hot start and the D-backs wildcard push, or join us live and watch along on YouTube. The Cardinals got a mixed bag on news on the injury front. We'll talk about the news and give you an update from this Mets game next on Burns and Gambo.
Bickley and Marotta mornings.
Diamondbacks reporter Todd Walsh. Frame up for us the absurdity, the improbability of what we are watching with this baseball team.
They're like the B side. The A side, the single, had the hook a mile long, 3 chords in the truth, but it just didn't work. So what do? You flip it over and hey man, this is pretty cool. This is great. It's a complete just flush of what we saw for so many months, we're so tortured by. And now you've got this B side where you're like, I like this. I like the way this plays. I like the way this sounds in my head. They're the B side.
Bickley and Marotta, mornings on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Love telling you about Sanderson Ford, 51st Avenue in Glendale, America's most awarded Ford dealership. I got a message from my buddy Mike Miller over there. Said, hey, just had one of your listeners come in. Jose Germain came in, bought a truck on Saturday. Heard about it on the radio, went in and bought himself a new truck at Sanderson Ford. So, Jose, if you're listening, I don't think I've ever met you, but thank you for going to Sanderson Ford and purchasing a new truck from the great people at Sanderson Ford. They've got a great selection. You're always going to find the truck you like. They've got great deals, and they take a lot of pride with this statement. No hassle, no pressure, no nonsense. They're not going to rush you when you pull in. They're going to take your time. You want help, they'll give you help. You want a test drive, they'll get you a test drive. Honest, fair pricing. Never any additional markups at Sanderson Ford. David Kimmerly, they've been around for 70 years, Sanderson Ford. If you need a new Ford car, truck, or SUV, do what Jose did. Head on over to Sanderson Ford, 51st Avenue in Glendale, or go online for more information at sandersonford.com.
Baseball is all about stepping up to the plate when it matters most. And when you've been injured, you need a heavy hitter in your corner. At Morgan & Morgan, we don't back down. We fight to get you every dollar you deserve. No curveballs, no strikeouts, just results. That's why we've recovered over $25 billion for our clients and fight for them from offices nationwide. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, proud sponsor of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Low T? Start for free. For a limited time, get prescription testosterone with no startup fees. Only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. You'll think better, sleep better, and it'll improve your sex life. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. So don't waste money on herbal supplements that don't work. Get the T levels you had in your 20s with prescription testosterone. It's a game changer. And for a limited time, get started for free only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone, keyword Red Mountain.
Worried about outliving your retirement savings? You're not alone. That's why Canvas Annuity created the Forever Fund, a straightforward way to turn your retirement savings into a guaranteed paycheck for the rest of your life. Choose from a range of custom paycheck options designed to fit your needs and fund your future in minutes with our fast, secure online application. Visit canvasannuity.com today. That's canvasannuity.com.
We're here with wide receiver Michael Wilson. Hey, Michael, what is that great ride you pulled up in?
Man, it's my Honda from Arrowhead Honda. Just like on the field, I know the importance of reliability and performance and trust my ride to Arrowhead Honda. Whether you're looking for a rugged SUV or a sleek sedan, Arrowhead Honda has you covered.
Head down to Arrowhead Honda today and score big with unbeatable deals and top-notch service.
Be sure to tell them number 14, Michael Wilson, sent you. Go Red.
Monsoons, wild winds, roof destruction, driving rain. Is your roof prepared?
Hi, I'm Lori Clark, owner of Right Way Roofing. We offer free estimates and up to 12 months, same as cash. Let's get your roof ready before the storm strikes. Remember, there's only one way, the right way.
The right way roofing, we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and we all know summers are never ending in Arizona, where it's way too hot outside for your AC to not be in tip-top shape. Call the pros at Parker & Sons for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, a company that has served the Valley for 50 years. They have got your back 24/7, and when you need them, they'll be there in minutes, not days. Call 602-2-REPAIR. That's 602, the number 2, then REP AIR for Parker & Sons.
But like the way he swung at that.
If you were looking for an update on the Mets game, you just accidentally got one right there. But I'm Lauren Koval with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. The Arizona Diamondbacks could not get it done today against the Giants. The D-backs lost 5-1 in extra innings, but Brandon Pfaadt pitched 9 scoreless innings today for the D-backs. And I got a good update for you guys in that Mets game right now. The Padres 6-2 lead over the Mets. A Manny Machado grand slam bringing it home. And per head coach Jonathan Gannon, Arizona Cardinals cornerbacks Max Melton and Will Johnson are not headed to the injured reserve. However, defensive lineman LJ Collier and cornerbacks Garrett Williams are headed to the IR. They've not been ruled out for the entire season, though. And all 4 players were injured in Sunday's win against the Carolina Panthers. And the Phoenix Mercury, they're in action right now against the New York Liberty, trying to avoid elimination. You can catch that one over on ESPN. This report is brought to you by Morris Hall Estate Planning. Whether you need adjustments to an existing estate plan or you just need to get one started, the attorneys at Morris Hall are ready to help. For a complimentary consultation, visit morrishall.com today.
Yeah, it's different. It's fun. Did Manny get that?
Got him.
Oh, yes, he did. Now, no fancy TV work's going to bring that one back.
He was sitting on that breaking ball.
Thank you, Manny Machado.
Grand slam.
Grand slam.
There we go.
Padres are up 6-2 over the New York Mets right now going into the bottom of the 5th right now.
Yeah. You know what? This very, very difficult Diamondback loss today becomes a lot easier to bear if the Mets lose today.
100%.
It just becomes
but then you also can play the what if. God, what if they had just won? Now you're just a half game back. But you're right. You're at the end of the day, you go, hey, you know what? Nothing lost. You're fine. You can tolerate it.
Nothing lost, nothing gained.
You're
right now, the only thing you can do is lose. So I will take the Padres win, and you remain 2 games back.
Yeah.
2 games back in the loss column.
You'd be 2 games back in the loss column. You remain a game and a half back overall. The Mets will play the Padres again tomorrow at 10:10. I don't know what the pitching matchup is for that game.
For tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I have it.
You have it?
Yeah,
Please.
It is Randy Vasquez against Jonah Tong.
Okay, Jonah Tong, his last start, he got destroyed. His last start, he got absolute. I mean, he looked like a scared 18-year-old kid the last time I saw him pitch, like less than a week ago. He got rocked. Can't remember who they were playing, but it was the Phillies. And it was in the midst of that 8-game losing streak. I don't think he got out of the second inning in that game. Might be better this time around, but we'll see. But that's tomorrow's pitching matchup.
I would not be shocked if the Mets lose these 3 games.
Well, okay, now just for a second, try to imagine what that would do to the atmosphere going into Friday's night
game?
when the Diamondbacks are playing the Phillies if the Mets were to lose all 3 of these games before the Diamondbacks play again. I mean, that would be badass. I mean, it really would. It would be just like that would be a place to be on Friday night at Chase Field. I mean, it's going to be a place to be anyway, but if the Mets are going to open the door that wide for you again,
yeah,
and you're the Diamondbacks, you go, oh, man, that'd be so much fun.
So tomorrow's a good pitching matchup for the Padres. And then you go to Friday, and you've got the Nationals, right? The Nationals are going to be at the Mets, and they've got Andrew Alvarez pitching. This is, a young kid. He's had 3 starts, and he's been dynamic in his 3 starts. Really good. So he's got a 1.15 ERA in 3 starts. Beat Miami 2-0. He beat the Cubs, and he didn't get the win in that one, but they won that game that he pitched in. And then he went 6 innings, didn't give up any runs at all against the Pirates. So maybe.
Diamondbacks did lose today, 5-1 in extras against San Francisco.
Oh, by the way, let me add this in. Mercury are up by 7 over the Liberty.
Yeah, I
it's
got
on
that
ESPN
game,
right
got
now.
that game on in here too.
Yeah, I got that game on too.
34-27 with about 7 minutes to go in the second quarter, in a must-win game for them to force a game 3 back at PHX Arena. That game would be on Friday or Saturday. I can't remember what day it would be, but it would be the deciding game 3 if they can win tonight. So, yeah, that's on. Mets, Padres are on tonight. There's plenty going on right now. We've also got an update from the Arizona Diamondbacks, and we got this in the late morning from Jonathan Gannon on the injury update in the secondary and with LJ Collier.
A couple updates that I'm sure you guys are itching at. Garrett Williams and LJ Collier will both go to IR. Potential for both of them to come back this year. Max Melton will be out there today. Will Johnson will not be out there today. And we'll kind of see how the week goes for those 2.
And when asked for more specifics on Will Johnson and Max Melton.
Coach, what's your optimism level for Max and Will?
Day by day, see how they respond, see where it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how they are tomorrow. Will Johnson didn't practice today. He spoke very optimistically in the locker room after practice about, without saying anything specific. He was optimistic about his situation. I saw about 30 seconds worth of video cut-ups of Max Melton, and he looked fine. Now, whether that means he's going to be fine or not, I have absolutely no idea. And then obviously Garrett Williams, with him being on IR, but maybe his season isn't over. Jonathan Gannon spoke briefly on what they're going to miss the most about him.
Good football player. Just his ability to play winning football for us, play a couple different hats for us. So
yeah, slot corner, outside corner. That is a tough loss to see him go out. Not a surprise when you saw how he went off the field, like you said earlier, but a tough loss.
Yeah, and this is where your depth gets tested. But you mentioned some of the other guys like Katel Clark. He's got 30 games under his belt. He's been in this league for a few years. The Cardinals, drafted him. You got to feel good about his opportunity to step in and help out quite a bit. So I think that they're in a decent spot. The depth's going to be tested. Depth's always tested. It almost always is. I mean, that's why you've got second string guys and third string guys and things like that. So. But I think it's a tough loss because it's a culmination of losing Starling Thomas and Sean Murphy Bunting and now Garrett Williams. And look, it's not like one guy went down. Now they resisted the temptation to go out and go sign anybody, which is fine because they really believed in the guys they have. And Monty Williams, Monty Ossenfort. Monty Ossenfort's done a great job of putting together a roster with guys that he believes in and trusts, and now those guys are going to have to step up and deliver.
As always with you, I knew what you meant. So if that
I
counts for anything, I
corrected it very quickly.
You caught it as it was coming out of your mouth. So I knew what you meant all along. Yeah, it's almost like this kind of cruel football coincidence or cruel football irony, whatever you want to call it, that the one position that the Cardinals are so young at and they just don't have a lot of veteran presence now becomes the one that they're just so thin at. I mean, even before they lost Sean Murphy-Bunting and Star Thomas, it was a really young room without a lot. Sean Murphy-Bunting was an experienced cornerback, but in terms of that really good veteran guy, they didn't really have it. And then with his injury followed by Star Thomas's injury, it left the room just really, really young. And now with all this, it's like this weird, cruel kind of irony that's the one room now that is just really young and really thin and kind of has to hang on for dear life. And I said it before and I'll say it again. This is where that hopefully improved pass rush makes life a little easier for those guys on the back end by their ability to get after the quarterback the way they were getting after Bryce Young early in that game. I think we need to hope for more of that to make it a little easier on the younger corners out there when they're missing all these guys.
Yeah, I think having the safeties that they have behind them with Buda and Jalen helps quite a bit.
Yep.
We've talked about the pass rush and how important the pass rush is going to be to alleviate some of the pressure on those guys so they're not on an island by themselves. I think the key thing for me, really, I mean, in all honesty, is just like, okay, you lose you lose one of your top three corners. But if Will's able to go against San Francisco and Max is able to go, I think you're going to be. I think they'll be fine.
Juan Soto just hit a solo home run for the New York Mets. It's 6-3. The Padres have the lead in the bottom of the fifth. So it appears it's going to be one of those kind of games. We've already had homers from Pete Alonso, Starling Marte, Manny Machado, and now Juan Soto. So it's 6-3. The Padres are beating the Mets in the bottom of the fifth with 2 out. We'll keep an eye on this one for what little of the show that we have left here on the Burns and Gambo show. When we come back, ASU, they're dealing with some injuries of their own heading into their conference matchup against Baylor. We'll talk about who they're going to be without because we got some clarification on that today, and that's next here on the Burns and Gambo show.
8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro First Teamer on the NFL's 2010s All-Decade Team. He's Patrick Peterson, P2.
Patrick Peterson out of LSU to the house.
And he joins Wolf and Luke every Tuesday morning at 11:15 to talk football on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Back here for the Berg Simpson Law Firm, 602-777-7000 is the number that be a good idea for you to keep handy, or visit bergsimpson.com. If you're ever involved in an accident, trust me, you are going to want them on your side, and you're not going to want to go it on your own, especially if you've been involved in an accident involving a truck, because those can be very, very serious, very devastating, lifelong injuries. And why you want to have Berg Simpson on your side in that moment, you're getting 45 years of results and experience and reputation on your side. They've recovered over $50 million in trucking injury claims alone. The deal is with the trucking companies, they have huge insurance companies. And Berg Simpson has real commercial vehicle crash experience going against those insurance companies. They promise you they don't charge you unless they recover compensation on your behalf. 602-777-7000 or visit bergsimpson.com. Berg Simpson, good lawyers, changing lives.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here from my friends at Advanced Window Products, a great company that is offering a great promotion for our listeners. Advanced Window Products going to hook up one lucky household with up to 15 replacement windows for free. That's a value of up to $25,000, and all you have to do is pull out your phone and text AWP to 620-620. Advanced Window Products, a local window and door manufacturing company that sells directly to the public with no middleman markups. They've got their own factory in the valley. They're the highest rated window company in the state with the most affordable, high quality custom windows you are going to find. They'll build your windows, they'll install your windows, then they'll guarantee them for life. You can find them online at advancedwindows.com. And remember, enter now for a chance to win a house full of free windows by texting AWP to 620-620. That's AWP to 620-620.
Message and data rates may apply.
Presidential Pools has been Arizona's #1 pool builder since 1991. They have an industry-leading warranty, and now is the best time to get a pool to not only add value to your home, but to have your backyard perfect for the weather that is coming. Football season is here, and I'll be hanging in the backyard with the kids and the family a lot. So if you're on the fence, Basinonians, don't be. Dive in with Presidential Pools, and they'll take care of you. Go to presidentialpools.com, voted Arizona's #1 pool builder.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Burns and Gambo, what's on tonight?
What's on tonight? The games that we're going to watch this evening, and it's brought to you by Global Credit Union. Explore the benefits of becoming a member at globalcu.org. We are going to watch Mercury basketball tonight. Game 2 of their best-of-3 against the New York Liberty.
I'm watching right now.
Yeah, with about 3.5 minutes to go, the Mercury have a 45-30 lead in the second quarter of this game.
Oh, yeah.
So they're up now. It's 46-30.
46-30.
Hit a free throw.
They're up
so
by 16.
16 with 3.5 to go. A win here would force a series-deciding Game 3 back here in Phoenix.
Good.
It's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's exciting. Sure, I want them to do well.
It is Brianna Stewart playing tonight?
Who?
For New York. I didn't have the box score up. I'm watching it in here without Brianna Stewart. She's playing tonight? Okay, Brianna Stewart's playing tonight.
She's out in the court right now?
Okay, I couldn't tell.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. I'm trying to look for her out there. I couldn't find her, and I didn't have the box score in front of me, so I didn't know if she was playing tonight or not. So she is. Phoenix is up 17 points with 3 minutes to go there. And they are between innings right now between the Padres and the Mets. They've just played 5. The Padres are beating New York 6-3 going into the top of the 6th. Nick Pivetta is out of the game. They've gone to their bullpen. The Padres have gotten home runs from a grand slam from Manny Machado. The Mets have gotten home runs from Pete Alonso, Starling Marte, and Juan Soto. But the Padres are beating New York 6-3. These same two teams will play again tomorrow at 10:10 a.m. So we'll see how things stand. Frankly, by the time we're on tomorrow, it's straight at 2 o'clock. We'll have a...
Oh, so that game should be over,
Oh, it should be over by the time we're on at 2. Yeah, I would think. So we'll have an even better idea of where the Diamondbacks stand. Diamondbacks already played, already lost. They don't play tomorrow. They've got an off day. Their next game is Friday night against the Philadelphia Phillies. Friday at Chase Field at 6:40. So that's what's on tonight, Gambo. Games we're going to watch.
All right.
Brought to you by Global Credit Union. Also, coming up after us, right? Sparky's Den? Yes, correct. Sparky's Den is going to be on after us. Kenny Dillingham today giving the injury updates as they go into conference play in the Big 12 against Baylor.
Yeah, I mean, X is going to be out for the game probably the next few weeks. Jalen Moss, who I thought was going to be back, he's sick, and so he's got to stay away from the team. So he's out. He'll be out for the game. And then Montana's questionable at best. I don't know what they call that. The medical team will determine what they call that at best. So then we got a few other guys dinged up across the board. So we just got to get back healthy. We got to go try to play our best football game.
Montana is defensive back Montana Warren. He's questionable for the game. X obviously is Xavier Alford. He is out for the game and probably going to be out for a few weeks beyond Saturday. And then Jalen Moss, just when they thought they were going to get him back, he's got this illness and they're keeping him away from the team. So he's going to be out for the Baylor game as well. That's a couple of tough loss. The Jalen Moss one, especially if this game turns into a shootout, and I kind of have a feeling it might turn into a shootout. You'd really like to have Jalen Moss out there.
You know, I was looking at a story you sent about what we know about the Big 12 through non-conference play, and they said the team has played the toughest schedule so far is the Bears.
Yes.
Baylor. They opened that season against Auburn. They said it was a 24-17 game in the closing seconds of the third quarter. They ended up losing by 2 touchdowns. Then they beat number 17 MSU in double overtime. So they've had the toughest schedule so far. And they mentioned the breakout star who we talked about yesterday. This kid's been lighting it up through 3 games. He's got over 1,000 yards. That's Sawyer Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
He has been terrific. I think he's only 2 yards away. I think the leader in passing has 1,072 yards. So I think he's just 2 yards away from being the leader in college football in passing yards.
Yeah, and while I'm not going to put all of my eggs into the schedule basket, I do think it's significant that Baylor has played who they've played. You know, like I think it gives them a little bit of a closer read to who they are and where they are when they went toe-to-toe against Auburn. I mean, that was a 24-17 game towards the end of the third quarter, and then Auburn had the big fourth quarter and blew them out. And then beating SMU on the road is a 17th ranked team in the country at the time. It's nothing against what ASU or any of the other teams have done, but I think there's a real difference between that and beating NAU and Texas State. You know what I mean? It makes a little bit of a difference. Doesn't mean that they're going to win. It just means they're probably more confident in who they are as a football team as opposed to ASU, which just the measuring stick hasn't been the same.
The interesting thing to me, and I've only watched one. I was at the Arizona State game last week. I've watched every one of the games. I did watch Arizona because they were on like Friday night, right? So I watched Arizona beat Kansas State, and they fully dominated the whole game, and it was close because it was a one-score game, but they were absolutely dominating the time of possession and the yardage and everything like that. They just couldn't put that team away. This story says that the team that is most likely to be this year's Arizona State, they mentioned Arizona.
Yeah.
They said they're 3-0. They've done a good job, and that was a good win for them. They've got a big game coming up against Iowa State on September 27th. That'll be a big indicator for them. So that said they've got the bye before that. That should be a help. But I did watch them play, and I hadn't watched the first 2 Arizona games, but I did watch them against Kansas State, and they looked good.
Yeah, and it was Michelle Gardner who wrote the piece. She covers ASU football for AZ Central, and she even said something like, "Yeah, ASU fans aren't going to want to hear this." But if you're looking for the team that might be the closest to surprising everybody the way ASU surprised everybody, she picked Arizona. Long way to go. I mean, if there's one thing we learned from the Big 12 last year, it is that it's such a deep league, and everybody at the top is not separated by a whole lot. I think it's going to be hard to know for sure about anybody in this conference until we get several weeks into conference play, right? And that's kind of, for me anyway, that's why I'm looking at these first 4 conference games for ASU as a real telltale sign in terms of their ability to compete this year. When you go to Baylor, when you go to Utah, when you're hosting TCU, which also got mentioned in this story as kind of an under-the-radar team in the Big 12, when you've got Texas Tech, I mean, that's about as tough a foursome to start conference play for ASU. I think we're going to learn a lot after the 4 games, but I think it's going to be hard to make any definitive statements before all 4 games are played.
Yeah, I agree. I think for Arizona State, I think we will have a good indication with this game, right? I mean, Baylor's played good competition. You're on the road. Not that you can't win this conference with a conference loss. You absolutely can. And it happened last year. You don't have to go undefeated in the conference, but This will be a good indicator.
And that's what I mean. They can lose this game and still win this conference. Now, I think if they go there and they lose badly, we might rethink things about ASU, but they can still lose and win the conference. All we have to do is look at last year. That's going to do it for us. Sparky's Den is coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow straight up 2 o'clock here on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Have a great night, everyone.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
You and your phone have the key to the Arizona sports universe with the Arizona Sports app. Live streaming shows and podcasts. Plus, listen to D-backs play-by-play.
And on score!
Download the Arizona Sports app, presented by Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning.
Love telling you about asset preservation, wealth, and tax. And my guy, Stuart Willis, has been helping me for a long time with my financial plan, retirement plan. He's offering our listeners, get this, if you just have your portfolio reviewed with him and you have at least $250,000 of investable assets, you just have the review, they'll set up a complete trust for you with one of their attorneys for just $999. Now, trusts can be very expensive, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, sometimes even more. But this is a complete trust. It includes durable powers of attorney, health care, living wills, pour-over wills, everything to keep your family protected and out of probate. You can get it for $999 when you set up a review, a portfolio review, and have at least $250,000 in investable assets with the great people over at Asset Preservation, Wealth, and Tax. Call them at 602-877-PLAN. They can help you with a retirement plan, financial plan, and even your tax situation. Give them a call. I've been using them for years. They do a great job for me. That's 602-877-PLAN, or go online at assetpreservationwealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Construction managers. You prioritize safety with hard hats and gloves and harnesses, but there's another tool to add to your first aid kits. Naloxone. Naloxone reverses an opioid overdose and saves lives. Not only are construction workers at a greater risk of an opioid overdose than people in other occupations, but many overdoses occur in or near job sites. Provide access to naloxone and protect your workers. Together, we can build a safer future. Visit naloxoneaz.com. That's naloxoneaz.com.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with Mike Freeland, owner of Turf Monsters, and Turf Monsters builds great pickleball courts, and you've got a great incentive going on now, Mike.
We are offering 15% off through Thanksgiving on all full court pickleball installations, and we customize to your space. You heard that right, 15% off, but you must act now. We want your business. Customer service is our number one priority.
623-263-7388. Online at turfmonstersaz.com.
Home sellers, have you heard the news? We're entering a buyer's market. Sellers face more competition and buyers have more choices. Before you make a move, do what I always do and call Carol Royce, your home sold guaranteed realty. With Carol's multiple cash offer program, you'll receive up to 6 cash offers plus her guaranteed sale offer, where Carol guarantees the sale of your home at a price acceptable to you, or she will buy it. Call Carol Royce today or visit carolhasthebuyers.com and sell with certainty. Carol and Seller must agree on price and possession.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today at 480-990-3300. That's 480-990-3300.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
My name is Wes Tunsaker, and I'm a partner here at the law firm of Morris Hall.
I'm Andrea Klaus, manager
managing partner.
I'm Tim Hall, and I'm thrilled to be part of this firm with wonderful partners, associates, and especially great clients.
We put clients first. I can't say enough about the team that we've got.
What estate planning is taking your assets, your legacy, and making sure that we plan for and protect that so that it goes to who you want, when you want, and how you want.
Estate planning is really caring about what impact you make while you're alive and caring about what happens when you're gone, not only to your estate that you leave, but to the people to whom you leave them or to the organizations.
If you have questions about a current estate plan or would like to review estate planning needs, you can reach out for a complimentary consultation.
We often say that estate planning is not just our practice, it's our privilege and it's our passion. Please come to see us.
Morris Hall, a premier estate planning law firm for over 55 years.